this morning are from what is called 3rd Isaiah. The book of Isaiah is a composite work with the product of several different prophets who ministered at different periods in the history of Israel. That's out of my HarperCollins Study Bible, and it's the introduction to Isaiah. So in a nutshell, 1st Isaiah predicts the downfall of the kingdom of Judah and the scattering of the people. 2nd Isaiah brings a message of hope and deliverance to the people living in exile and predicting that they will return to Judah. 3rd Isaiah, the part of which we heard this morning, speaks to the people that have returned, and the prophet urges them to stay true to God in spite of the harshness of life they have as returnees to Judah. 3rd Isaiah reiterates that promise of 2nd Isaiah that those who stay true to God will receive the riches promised, eternal joy and prosperity. So the words written for the Israelites in early 500 BCE, if you offer your food to the hungry and satisfy the needs of the afflicted, if you call the Sabbath a delight and the holy day of the Lord honorable, if you honor it, not going your own ways, serving your own interests, or pursuing your own affairs, then you shall take delight in the Lord. They seem to be twisted around by the time of Jesus. What we heard in the gospel this morning, he's teaching and notices a woman who has been crippled for, we are told, 18 years. He lays hands on her, and she is released from the bondage that has held her captive for 18 years. He was satisfying the needs of the afflicted, but the leader of the synagogue is indignant that he cured on the Sabbath. Now, laying on of hands doesn't sound like work to us today. I mean, for us, it's a blessing. But in obeying the letter of the law, it was work. So there was this disconnect at times between a strict adherence to the law and the intent of the law. Jesus was all about mixing people up, about making the authorities who held to that strict letter feel very uncomfortable. Last week, hopefully you guys had the same one. We should have. Jesus spoke about not bringing peace, but bringing division. His mission was to bring change, and a good example of that is in the gospel today. You untie your animals and lead them to water on the Sabbath. Why not free a person from their afflictions on the Sabbath? The particular group in that synagogue is divided between the leaders who have at that moment been put to shame and the people who rejoice at the works of his hand. And this is actually the 3rd time that Jesus has created a Sabbath controversy teaching in the synagogue. So you know he's in real trouble with the higher ups. The majority of us in this congregation are comfortable, but we are also afflicted. Today, as we sit comfortably in our pews, we need to honestly confront what might be holding us in bondage. What has you all tied up? I mean, there are physical ailments, like the woman in the story, and they may be easy to see, but not so simple to heal. There are emotional bonds that tie us in ways we may not even realize, but they influence our relationships and our ability to function. We hold beliefs that maybe we inherited or generalized from a specific incident, which may make us guilty of one of the many isms. I'm going to hope that you understand what all the isms are. There's like a lot to list. So, there are also events in our lives that paralyze us. And all of that is not helped by our city, our nation, our world being full of violence and national disasters. So what do? We are in a difficult place of being called to be a helper to the afflicted and being one of the afflicted. Many times we are able to help someone because they are bound by the same affliction that we experience. And I'm going to guess most of you have had that experience. Been able to talk to somebody and help somebody or be a presence to someone who is going through something you went through and survived. Reaching out to others in need helps us reduce our own bondage. And that's one of the reasons why we gather in the community. We gather on Sunday to get support and healing that we need to go out and work in the world. We are called to help each other loose those bonds which keep us from being whole. And thank God that Jesus has made it perfectly acceptable to do that anytime, any place, even on Sunday in church. This week, I'm going to ask you to be mindful of those about you, around you. Be a light in the darkness. Do the small things that just might make a difference in the life of someone suffering from an affliction. And it can be just as easy as looking and seeing that person as a child